Okay, so this is my next vlog, and this one is about the face-to-face interview. My face-to-face interview was on the 4th of June, which was about 3 weeks ago now. This was my third face-to-face with Yummy Jobs because I've done 2 summer programs before, and they all were very, very similar. Even though it was for a different program, it was a similar kind of day. So first thing I'm going to talk about is preparation. When you get your offer for the face-to-face interview, in the email it lists everything you need to take with you. So don't worry about having to remember all these things I'm about to say, because it is in the email. Most of it is things like your passport, copies of your passport, birth certificate or a copy of, proof of address, and the role checklist, which is something they send you. For the CRP, you only get a choice of 2 roles. You get merchandise or you get food and beverage, so that's pretty easy. Most people just tick both to see what they get. For the summer program, you will get a much longer list of roles. You've got sort of at least 8 or 9 roles you could choose from, and I'm hoping to do another vlog soon talking about different roles at Disney. I've done 2 of them, so I'll be doing another role, so I will have done 3 by the time I've done my CRP. It's quite exciting. But yeah, another day I'll talk about roles. Also, you need to take a copy of your CV, up-to-date copy. You need to take a pen for filling out forms, and you need to take the online form. Now this is a new thing they're doing, and they've sent the link in the email. So you follow the link, go onto this website, which is a Disney website. You log in, and then you have to fill out a really long form. It says it takes about 20 minutes. Actually, it took me more like 45. Mainly because it's basically you're copying your CV onto the website. So you fill out all the stuff like your name, address, can you work in this country, blah blah blah. Then you fill out your job history. That was the bit that took us, I think, most people the longest to fill out, mainly because there was a character limit. There was a 200 character limit. That is literally about 2 sentences for each job. So whilst everyone wanted to sort of blab on about how great their jobs were, they couldn't, because there was only about 2 sentences for each job. So that did take me a little while, but it's nothing to worry about. Some people did have problems with the online form this year. Again, it's nothing to worry about. If you email Yummy Jobs and just say I'm having problems, I'm sure they'll just say just bring along a paper copy and we'll fill it out at the interview day. It's mainly to save a bit of time on the day itself. So the only other thing I would say to take with you is if you've done a previous program, if you've done a summer program before, you've done the CRP before, make sure you take any references that you got from Disney. I managed to chase up at the end of my program a reference thing from one of my managers, and I have one from my first program as well. So I took them with me, or I took copies of them with me and gave them in as well, which just helped them really, because otherwise they'd be looking it up. So it saves them a bit of time. So just to run over: passport and photocopies, birth certificate, proof of address, up-to-date CV, the online form printout, role checklist, and any references you've got. That's all the paperwork you need to take. Obviously, in years to come, maybe they'll ask for other things as well, but that's what I had to take with me. The actual day itself is a really chilled day. Obviously, it's nerve-wracking. Often you have to be... I had my interview at the Disney offices in Hammersmith. They're literally right next door to the tube station. You kind of can't really miss them because they're massive. It is a nerve-wracking day, but you often have to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning or 9:30 in the morning. So you end up having a really, really long, tiring, stressful day, but it's actually really good fun. I set off really early. I decided to go up on the day. A lot of people do go up the night before and stay there. I know a lot of people met up and had meals or just got to know each other, which is really nice as well. I went up on the day, got a train up there, and got a taxi from the tube station to the offices, which wasn't very far. Once you get there, everyone sort of accumulates outside the offices because it's a bit difficult to tell where to go in. Both my interviews I've had there have been on Saturdays, and the front door of the building isn't open on Saturdays, so you have to find the back door. If you ever have to do this, my piece of advice is to follow the signs for the bus station, and when you follow the signs for the bus station, you should come out near where the back entrance to the Disney offices are. There were actually roadworks which prevented you walking around the outside of the building for me, but if there's no roadworks, you can just follow from the front door. You sort of, if you're facing the front door, you take a right and you follow the building all the way around to the back, and that's the back door. So you arrive, there's also people congregating, and you see everyone wearing sort of business outfits, and you know that they're there for Disney. You go in, you have a bit of a presentation from Yummy Jobs, which is really nice. Watch some videos and things. It makes you feel very Disney. And then they usually give you a time for your interview. So this time when I had my interview, it was only about an hour after the presentation had finished. So we just went to the local Starbucks and sort of sat around there for a little bit, and then I went back and had my interview, and I was all done by 12:30 in the daytime, so I was finished. My previous interview, I wasn't done until about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's really luck of the draw, kind of luck of the draw, where you have your interview. So it's always good to book a train or a bus or whatever a bit later in the day and hang around in London rather than be rushing or miss your train. So they give you a time for your interview, and a lot of people go off and, like I said, eat, drink, hang out, and then go back for their interview. Once you're done, you go back in, you do a little bit more paperwork, signing off and things like that with Yummy Jobs, and then you get called into your interview with Disney. I had a lovely lady called Jill who interviewed me from Disney. She actually interviewed me last time as well, so I've met her before. They're really friendly, they're really relaxed. It's so much more of a chat than an interview. It depends on your experience as to how many questions they ask you and how many sort of interviewee questions they ask you. For me, last time, it really wasn't much of an interview. It felt more like a chat. We sort of sat there and we sort of bantered, because you always get interviewed with somebody else. So me and the other girl, we sort of bantered with each other, and it was just really good fun. We had a nice chat. It lasts around about 20 minutes, so it doesn't last that long either. And once you're done, you say thank you, goodbye, and then you go back out into the sort of waiting area, and where we just sort of said goodbye to the people we were talking to, and then you're done for the day. So it's really, really nothing to actually get really, really stressed over. Obviously it's going to be a little bit stressful, but it's also a really fun day. You get to meet loads of people. If you've been talking to people on Facebook or online on the forums or WDWIP.com, for example, then you're going to be able to meet them in person, which is nice. The only other thing I was going to talk about is clothes. A lot of people freak out about what to wear for the interview. When you work for Disney, they are quite strict on how you look and what you wear. Obviously, when you're working in the parks, you wear a costume, but you cannot change that costume in any way. You can't customise it. And the same goes for your appearance. You have to have... there's all sorts of rules to do with the way you can have your hair, and if you're a boy, the way you can have facial hair and things like that. So for the interview, obviously you don't have to follow the Disney look guidelines for your interview, but it's a good idea to. It's a good idea just to go conservative. Even if that's not your normal thing, if you really want this job, you need to go a little bit conservative with what you're wearing and the way you look. So most people wear a suit. I saw most of the guys were wearing suit trousers and a shirt, and some of them were wearing jackets. The day we went, it was really warm weather, so a lot of people didn't bother with the jacket. I wore suit trousers and a blouse and a cardigan on top, which I took off obviously because it was quite warm. And some girls wear skirts as well. I mean, as long as you're looking smart and sort of office wear, then you'll be fine. I would say probably not to go too short a skirt if you're a girl. Most girls are wearing some sort of heel, but equally a lot of girls wear flat shoes, so shoes aren't really a problem at all. Just say wouldn't turn up in flip-flops or trainers. Hair and makeup, I would say go kind of simple. If you have pink hair, it might be a good idea to dye it before your interview, because although you can say to the interviewer, right, I will dye my hair, they do judge you a little bit on first impressions. So I would say go conservative with the hair, go for a normal colour. If you've got extreme hair, just tone it down a bit. And makeup, again, just go simple and plain and look nice, and you'll be absolutely fine. And then it's just the wait. The wait begins, and that wait is a long one. Even if you only have to wait 5 days, it feels like forever. I had to wait 8 days before I found out whether I was going. So all I can say is just hold in there. You will get that email, and fingers crossed you will get that job. So just be positive. My next vlog will probably be about roles, which will be more to do with the ICP really. Yeah, tune in.